Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in again to another segment that I'm about to put up. The title of this one is Enough is Enough, and I have, as you all know, my guest, Jan. Jan from New York City saves money.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine as well. Um, Today, I wanted to discuss a topic, as I just mentioned, enough is enough. And we've all been there. I know you have been there. It has to do with people borrowing money and they think, oh, well, this person loaned me money once. I don't think she or he will have a problem loaning it to me a second, a third, a fifth. But then when somebody treats you like that, even though you're trying to be nice and kind, then your kindness is mistaken for weakness. And
That's awful. It really is awful, Steve.
um,
I'm sorry to interject on that, but
no, no, no. I'm glad. I'm glad that you jumped in
thank
because
you.
I was
Yeah,
yeah I was about to ask you. Are there
yes,
any
yes,
previous situations you'd like to discuss?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes and
Baby,
yes.
yes. Middle, yes, and triple, yes. And
Okay.
unfortunately, yes. I had my first experience with this when I was a school teacher back in the 80s. And at that time, Steve, I was a single mom
Uh huh.
on a paltry salary in a Catholic school. Just imagine this: New York, high prices, single mom, paltry salary Catholic school. And there was this one individual that, for whatever the reason, just because I never cried the blues, because that was never my style and never will be, this person seemed to think that I was like the Bank of America or something. And
Mm,
it was okay. Once she asked to borrow, and I, went along with it. Everybody deserves a chance, one time or another, right? We work for the same people, so we both knew like the kind of income we were getting. So okay, so then this unfortunate thing became like a monthly habit. She was knocking on my door mentally once a month, always the worst time too, by the way, right before payday, which when you're like strapped, you're kind of like living paycheck to paycheck. We've all been there, and that is not an easy thing to do when you're a single parent.
mm-mm.
And here I am, just scraping by. And because she was, see, here's the problem. She was also a single mother, so I had that compassion, that empathy. But the problem was when I found out what that money was going to, it was going to her entertainment when I was depriving myself. It was affecting my grocery bill. It was affecting other things that were going on that I really needed. And every time I thought, okay, well, this is the last time and all that. So finally, when I found out, Steve, that this lady was going to the movies while I'm scratching my head trying to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, "Oh, what's $20?" Well, $20 back in the '80s was about $40 today. That's for one. And I was such a great shopper that a $20 bill meant that I could go food shopping and stretch $20. So she kept 20, 20, 20. It got to be such a routine, Steve, that I had a glass in a cabinet. And one day my daughter says, she was a little girl, she says, "Ma, why is there a $20 bill in a glass, like a drinking glass?" I said, because she thought that was very weird. I said, well, it is weird. I said, because sure enough, I'm almost positive that I could just mark the calendar, and sure enough, this individual would constantly ask money. It was just getting too much. So you know what happened one day? I took her to the side, and it was my first time with confrontation. I was only in my 20s, okay? So for me,
Mm-hmm.
this was a big deal. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type that does not like to upset the apple cart, okay? So one day he says, let's get a cup of coffee. It'll be on me. Best investment on that cup of coffee. I said, I looked the person right now and I said, I can't do this anymore. She said, what are you talking about? Can't do what anymore? Teach? I says, no. I said, I can teach. I said, I can't keep helping you every single month. I said, I'm not saying you don't pay it back, but why don't you fix your problem? And P.S. I go to find out you're spending it on the movies while I'm scraping by. I thought that just was just very inappropriate. It was just inappropriate. That person, that co-teacher, was a lot of years older than me, Steve. That's what hurt the most.
I can see that.
Did I like confronting? No. No, but it had to happen. Now, some people might say, oh, it's only $20. It wasn't the only $20. It's the fact that she was taking advantage of me every single month. That's what bothered me so much. There's a thin line between people thinking, confusing, as you just said, kindness versus weakness.
Weakness, yeah. If you look at things from a role model standpoint, the way that I always knew it is that the older person was always the role model, where the younger looks up to the. It shouldn't be the other way around. No. Yeah, you've actually told me this story before.
Yes, yes, and it's a great example. It really is a great example. And some of my viewers may have heard it before, but maybe some of your viewers have never heard this story before.
Right.
But did I tell you where it really went? You want to know where I had my wake up moment? What woke me up to finally confront not only the movie thing. Once in a while, I like to take my daughter out for, slice of pizza and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
It was a really great place out in Middle Village. They had the best pizza, really.
Mm-hmm.
People would come all over to go try it. Anyway, making a long story short, so I says, I'll take my daughter out for pizza. And I'm thinking I had enough for the both of us. But because I did that loan, I had, thankfully, enough for my daughter. So she goes, Ma, how come you're not eating dinner? I said, I'm not hungry. Bold-faced lie. I really. I said, that's it. Enough is enough. This is ridiculous, because I can't be going through this month in and month out.
No, you couldn't. No, absolutely not.
Yes. What bothers me, Steve, that some people don't understand that we are all captains of our own ship in life. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it works. Someone else is not responsible for me. You're not, someone else is not responsible for you. We all have to maneuver our own financials. We all have to do that. We can't be expecting someone else to do that. So even if people are married, okay, you sit down and you communicate with your spouse. I get that part. Okay, but at the end of the day, sometimes you end up not married for whatever the reason. Then what are you going to do? You have to know what to do. You have to manage your money.
Mm-hmm. You do. Yeah.
So it's horrible. I don't like dealing with that. So similar things came up, but at least as each time it happened, I gained more experience. I got better at, confronting. You see, we can blame the other person all we want, but at the end of the day, we are responsible for how we react to the situation at hand.
We are. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Is it fun? No. So that's one instance of enough is enough. Can you think of any other instances besides like something like that? Where do you get fed up with things?
Well, I had an incident happen to me probably about a year ago, maybe a year and 2-3 months, maybe between a year and a half ago, where I'm living, there's this gentleman, and keep in mind, this guy is in decent financial shape. He always had an issue with food. And this guy, for some reason, always talked about McDonald's. Well, first off, if I wanted to go to a fast food place to get a hamburger, I can think of about 3 other places to go that's better than McDonald's. If you go on YouTube and look up McDonald's videos and about the food, you'd never want to eat it again. That's one.
Okay.
Well, this particular guy I I said, well, I go to this store and I pick up these heat and eat sandwiches. It's a store that I have not too far from here. It's a discount store where you pay less money. And I said, if you like, when I go, I'll pick you up some, and when I come in, I'll show you the receipt, and you just pay me for whatever you know you want.
Yeah.
So we did that on a couple of occasions, and this is the part that drove me down, and I never did it again for this person. It was verbally, it was as though he came over and subconsciously slapped me across the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm downstairs. Yes, so right. So I'm downstairs with him sitting on this couch. There's like a lobby area.
Yeah.
And he speaks up and says, "Oh, I bet you have nothing but I bet your refrigerator upstairs is nothing but plumb full of food." And he just rambles on about that. And I'm thinking to myself, and keep something else in mind. I've seen this gentleman be able to go and pull out $100 bill like it's a $1 bill, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
When he said that to me, not so very good thoughts went through my head.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, no, you didn't just say that. You're over here telling me that I have a refrigerator full of nothing but food, but yet you can go. I didn't say this, it's what I thought, but I said you have the ability to go just about anywhere and pull out a $100 bill like it's a $1 bill, and I'm over here struggling almost month to month. Guess what? That drew the line. When he said those words, that was taking my kindness for weakness. When I heard that,
right,
that was the end of it.
Right. You see, what's the repeating pattern? Taking kindness. And I will always advocate for people to be kind. I will always say, yes, be kind, be kind. But guess what? To everything a limit, because when kindness turns into someone taking advantage of you, and you know when it is, this voice comes in your head, you just sense it, right? Like something told you in your mind, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
When you said you had like that imaginary slap. And that's not a comfortable moment, to say the least. So, well, here's the question though, what do we do about it? Like, what do people, I'm curious to know what your view is. How do they handle situations like that? That'd be great for them to leave in the comment section below.
Yeah, I would like to know a little bit of feedback from whoever views this. I would love if you're willing to share. I'd love to hear some of your.
You don't have to name names of anyone who's ever viewing. Just like give examples of this kind of thing would make you uncomfortable, or this kind of thing has happened to someone else, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because there really is a thin line. But you know what? The spirit does tell us when that little voice, that small voice, gotta give it heed. Recently myself, there is someone. It started off similar thing. Oh, do you have X number of this? Do you have X number of that? Whatever. And okay, it starts off in little dribs and drabs, right? Then all of a sudden it snowballs and it turns into an avalanche until one day you'll have to confront the person. I don't love it. It just, I don't love it, but I will do it when I have to. Oh, I will do it when I have to. Yes. Because we have to take care of our families and we have to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Now I have a person that I've known for quite a few years. I met him back in February of '93. My dad and I wanted to join a bowling league, and I met him through one of his friends at the time. Well, and we still know each other to this day. Not only are we really good friends, we're almost like pretty close to family to one another. And, if he ever owes me money, again, I do trust him, in
Yeah.
that aspect. He doesn't always have to pay me back in dollars or fives or tens or whatnot. If
Yeah.
he owes me money, and let's say we want to go somewhere, dine out, eat somewhere, and
Hmm.
let's say he covers me. Whatever it costs for my portion,
Yes.
whatever he owes me, I just take it off what he owes me.
Yeah, sure. That works.
I figure that's just as good as getting paid back. If you
It's like
feed
an
me,
exchange of services.
yeah. If you feed me or get me something to eat, I mean, I do like to think of myself to a point like a food connoisseur. If you're gonna buy me something to eat, and it's something that I like, I am certainly not going to turn it down. And like I said, I just take it off. If you owe me 25 and you spend
Right.
10, I just take the 10 off and it's 15.
And here's the difference of what you just mentioned, that two of you respected each other. Nobody felt, oh, you're taking advantage of me. Oh, you're mistaking my kindness for weakness. There's a big difference.
It really all depends how everything plays out.
Yeah.
How it plays out is really a big determination. But if you do something for somebody like what I did for this gentleman, and then you come back with a comment like that, which made me feel this little, by the way.
Oh, no. You were the kind soul.
And I
No.
don't have, keep in mind, I have food, yes, but I don't have a refrigerator plumb full to the gills that it's overstuffed, that I've got lots of. No,
Does he have x-ray vision? Whoever this is.
well, this person,
I know, I kind of know whom. Yeah.
right, I might have mentioned him to you in
Yeah.
the past.
But I
Well,
mean, first of all, people could have full refrigerators but low bank accounts. I mean,
True, that's true. Well,
you
this
know.
person, like I said, this was about a year and a half ago. This person is no longer here. I guess he decided to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, I do say good riddance, but at the same time, I also say I wish you well.
Of course.
That's
That's right.
about,
None of us has. I'm glad you said that. Neither one of us has ill feeling towards that person for the rest of their life. We just feel like sometimes when circumstances get like where people are taking advantage, that's the fed up, enough is enough thing, and then it has to be fixed. Um, I always say past mistakes are future lessons learned. So,
it is.
but it was hard for me that first time around because again, I was only in my 20s, like early middle 20s, so you're still kind of like cooking, if you will. It's the things you learn, stepping stones.
Um, but everybody has to learn how to say no. I'm sorry, I cannot,
Yeah, no is tough.
because it's not. Yeah, because a person who might be able to help somebody one time, and then they try to come back a second or a third or a fifth time, and they can
Right.
try to sweet talk you or whatnot, try to be lovey-dovey or whatever you want to call it. But you have to keep something, or the person that loans the money, they have to keep something in mind too. They have to be able to live.
Yeah.
You can be too nice and be too helpful, and then what are you going to do? You got to be able to live throughout the month as well. You can't just be giving money at
Absolutely. And if you have savings goals, For example, like in my case, on purpose. On purpose, I cut my own hair. On purpose, I don't go out to get a pedicure. I give me a pedicure. Okay.
Mhm.
These are on purpose in order to save. I stop spending. The best way to do it is to stop spending. So then someone else who's careless, for example, let's just say someone else is careless, comes into the picture and they want things, they want it now. They want everything that I might, let's say, have had or have without the effort it took for me to get it. They want that thing now. How unfair.
Mhm.
They have to have a plan. This is why, Steve, almost every so often I'll do a video, for example, on confronting your numbers, facing your budget. Don't be afraid. They're just numbers and you get to manage them. These particular people clearly have a problem with budgeting.
They do.
Because
Some
how
of
could it
it,
be every single month at the same time this particular two people, for example, always have this kind of problem of deficiency in funds?
yeah. One of the things is one of the things you were never taught how to budget in your younger years or however how old you are. Um, One method that works for me, actually, this is something you and I share in common. You can't tell me, based on the amount of money that somebody has or gets or whatever, you can't tell me you cannot take $1 a day and set it aside for 1 month.
Bingo.
Even if you skip a couple of 3 days in the month, you may still wind up with $20, $25.
Exactly.
I would much rather do that than to go to somebody and ask, because I'm not one to go and ask somebody for money. I can't do it. I will
No,
never ask anyone for anything. It's
I know
not
that.
it's not in my
Never
system.
did. No.
And if I do, I'm not saying I never have. And if I do ever go and ask somebody for something, then I feel guilty for doing it.
Right.
And then
Right.
I'm not happy until I return whatever it is back to that person. That's me.
Right. I always have this theory. If squirrels are smart enough to store nuts for the winter during the spring, summer, or whatever, and then the early fall, they're putting their nuts away for the winter. Squirrels, tiny brain, this
Mhm,
big. How come people can't?
mhm. Oh, no, no. I've actually, speaking of squirrels, I've actually seen squirrels physically do that. I've actually watched
Oh,
a
clearly.
squirrel actually hide their nuts.
Yes.
And to them, now keep in mind, this is like a form of rodent or whatever you want to call it, I guess.
Yes.
But they do it second nature. They don't think about it. They just boom, nut, dig a hole, stick the nut in there, cover it up. Like
That's
it's
it.
they don't even think about it. It all comes second nature to them.
You know what it is, Steve? It's a habit. And I'm telling you, this should be its own show. And I think I'll take over one day on a show. You're more than welcome. Come on,
Mhm.
talking about savings habits because it's a habit. It's like brushing. We get up every day. What do we do first thing? Brush our teeth,
Brush our
right?
teeth. Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, right? Or within an hour, we usually, that's a routine. Before you
Right.
go to bed, hopefully you brush your teeth. Hopefully after, middle day meal. I know that's tough, but we take care of these things. Nobody's tapping us on the shoulder. Hurry up, Jan, you better brush. No.
Mm-mm.
So why can't people get into that? Some people do. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't know how. They're not in the habit.
Yeah. I
But
have.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
You're right. You're right. Everybody needs to create a habit, but it doesn't. I don't like to use this word. Um, not everything every time has to be regimented.
No.
I mean, if a person is in a mindset, I'm going to do this at this time every day. It's going to be just like this. Boom. Well, first off, I would not want to do the same thing every day, 365 days a year at the same precise time. There's days
No,
I
not
want
a robot.
no, there may be days I want to do it an hour or two or three later
Right.
or earlier.
Right.
Why does it always have to be a cookie
It
cutter
doesn't.
right
It doesn't.
then and there? I mean,
But for the person that never saved, I like your theory and my theory of the dollar a day. The point of the dollar a day is not about the number. The point of the dollar a day is the discipline and to get used to the habit of saving and enjoying it. So eventually, if the person does that, if they want to just do $20 a month and put 20 aside, it's a habit that's to be developed.
mhm. Oh, yeah. I mean, I just mentioned $1 a day. Now, if you're able to up it to $2 a day and you're able to be devoted to it and loyal each day, then you're going to have $60 at the end of the month.
Right.
If you're able, and again, if you go three, it's 90, 120, and so on and so on. If you have
Right.
that ability, um, it does work. Anybody that says, "Oh, but I can't save money. I have baloney."
Right.
Okay, so if you can't take $1 a day and save it 7 days a week, if you can set $1 a day and do it for 4 days out of the week, that still gives you about $16, $18 that you didn't have, maybe 20 that you didn't have.
Exactly. Exactly. Steve, you might remember this video going back a couple of years. It was on, I think it was a January 1st video. It may be gone because of music and I might have removed it. But I remember this vividly that I encourage people, if they have any holiday money, start today, January 1st, put your money away, even if it's $1 a day. If those people did do that, that was 2 years ago. $365 times two, they would be what, $730 richer now,
730.
plus some. So it accumulates. That was only 2 years ago. Time is going to lapse no matter what happens, Steve. The clock is still ticking. So then why can't we do things to make our lives a little better? That clock is still going to tick. So may as well just make the best out of it every day. Financially, in this case.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I mean, even I haven't done it in a while. Yeah, true. I mean, I haven't done it in it's been a while. I mean, it's been a pretty good while actually, but I still don't mind doing things the old-fashioned way. You want to buy something, you have a goal.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can go out, and I know this segment is not about this, but I'm just going to mention the two words.
No, that's how we work.
Oh, sure, you can go and put it on a credit card, sure.
Yeah.
But you also have a method that also works. You can also save up for it.
And now, bingo.
Whatever amount of money you want to set aside, you save up for it like we did when we were kids. We wanted to buy something, we set money aside.
That's right.
As children, we had piggy banks.
Amen.
Eventually, a quarter, a nickel, a dime, you keep adding to it. It adds up. It's going to be something.
Yes.
So, no, there's nothing wrong with doing things the old-fashioned way. Save up for it.
And here's where it hurts. Here's the hurtful part. I make saving a game. I encourage people to say that's the mission of my channel. Jan from New York City Saves Money, because I want to encourage anyone who thinks they cannot do it. No, everyone can do it. Start small. I don't care if you start with 25 cents. Honestly, Steve, I don't care. If you could put a quarter a day away, it adds up. Just it's the everyday part that counts. It's not the amount at first. It's the everyday part. Then eventually you increase it to the dollar. I mean, you just have, when there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you say a quarter a day and set it aside. Um, you think of, no, even setting a quarter aside, it's not a drastic amount of money at the end of a month, but
Right.
you know, it's
Some of my viewers, Steve, are very low income. I mean, very low income.
yeah.
So what would a quarter a day be at the end of the month? I mean, 31 times 25.
Let me see. I have a
We'll get the exact number here.
calculator. I'm kind of curious.
It's the idea of the habit.
I'm getting $7.50.
Okay, $7.50. Guess what, Steve? I knew a person who missed an important job interview because they didn't have the necessary transit authority fare to get to the job interview. That cost that person a possible job. That person would have gotten it. $7.50 would have gotten them to that job interview and a bag of potato chips on the way home. So you see, I mean, no amount is too small. That's why I encourage my viewers to try to save. Save by not spending. That's the easiest way to save. Just stop spending. We are influenced constantly to spend, 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 and then some. Some people they try to fulfill their happiness and joy only by spending. If you have the money and everything, you could go along, do whatever you want with your money. But if you're scratching and clawing and can't pay your bills, going out for quote retail therapy is absolutely not right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know we went around in circles on subjects, but we tend to do that. But it's all about money, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's like I always said, and I mentioned it on a prior video, one that, a matter of fact, I believe it's one that I believe it's airing today, or one that went up yesterday. Anyway, it's one of my videos, and I happen to. This is another topic altogether. Like I had talked about weight loss for a minute. Everything we do, no matter what it is, it's all up here. If you can get it, it has to go through. It has to stick in your head. It's mental.
Totally.
Because if you don't put your mind to something, forget it.
Forget it. It's like simply that. Forget it.
You just wasted your own time. It's here.
I can't believe that we're already like 32 minutes into this. But the folks are just so wonderful coming by to watch your show and getting these messages,
Wait a minute. You're saying we've been on for 32? I'm not even
33 minutes and 30 something. Yeah.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm not really able to tell the numbers, because I'm
the time, whenever we spend time together like this, it just goes so fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. And, and I'm glad that the subscribers like yours and mine's collabs. Now,
yes,
if I may, and I need to put this out there, this is my definition of a collaboration.
Yes.
Yes. A person who thinks a collaboration is something you do on your channel, and then they do something on their channel, and somebody else does it on their channel, and then you link it together. That's not my definition of a collaboration. A collaboration is when two people at one time is doing something.
Work together. I tend to agree with you. I've done those other types of only because that's what other tubers do, but I tend to believe the word collaboration means it's an intertwining together at the same moment in time, not just. But everyone's definition is different. But I tend to agree with your definition.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at it from another quick standpoint or point of view. If you have two people that's singing that do a duet, aren't they usually in the same room?
Usually, yeah.
Oh,
Last
don't
time
get
I
me
checked.
don't get me wrong. Now, I hope I don't cancel out what I just mentioned, but don't get me wrong. But there have been times, I guess through the grace of technology, where I guess one singer can be in one state and the other singer be elsewhere or in another room or but that's not, again, I don't consider that a true duet. Again, collaboration is what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Even though you're 15 hours away from me by car, through the the kindness and grace of computer technology and
Yes.
internet, we
Yes.
have
And a
been
paid cable bill.
yeah, we have been brought together. It looks as though the way it's set up, even though you're in a different room, it looks like you're sitting beside me,
Absolutely.
even though that's not the case. But
No.
yeah,
Well, I
so,
agree with you.
well, I
Well,
can't.
anyway, this was very nice. Thanks for having me on, Steve.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And again, I like being on your uploads and lives or when you or collaborations.
Thank you so much.
That's why the subscribers love us so much because of the spontaneity and the
I hope
dynamic.
so. I think they do. Yes, they
No, I'm
like
sure.
us. Yeah.
No, they do. I've gotten a couple of feedbacks that we've gotten the thumbs up. So
Good. They're awesome.
mhm. But I can't really think of much more.
No, no,
Really,
like you said earlier, once you've exhausted the subject, but it is a great idea for others that have a point to make to mention it in your comment box below.
yes, yeah. I'll just say this right here, and we'll wrap this up. By all means, any of you that are watching, tuning in, if you have any past experiences that you would like to share that has happened to you, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I'd love to go back and read it. You as well, if you like.
Oh,
And
absolutely. I love reading my subscribers' comments, my
yeah,
viewer comments.
yeah,
They make my day. And if there's ever a delay, I want to point out something, Steve, for a second.
okay,
This is for my subscribers. If you see a delay from the time that you make a comment and it appears in the description, not description, the comment section, it's because I pre-approve all the comments. If I see a comment that is not suitable, it will not land on the page. I run a tight ship on my channel.
you know, what
Thankfully, I don't really get that many issues, but if I do, it just goes away.
I need to start. I need to go in, I guess, into my settings and make that adjustment as well because I just had a comment that was left. Now, I just did, if I may, I just did a video based on credit card tips. What does somebody post as a comment? I deleted it. You click on the link, it sends you over and it says about getting pre-approved for a credit card.
Oh, that's awful. That's called spamming.
It is. I took the comment down. It's not there.
Right.
I even remember the guy's. I remember the guy's name, so it won't be that
Well,
hard.
the main thing is you zapped it out. Very good.
But I need to go in. I need to go and do what you do. I need to go. And
Yeah,
change
I
that
kind of
setting.
like apologize for the ones that may not. They'll give you a comment, then they don't see their own comment yet. But It has to get pre-approved by me.
It's better that way. That way you keep
It is. It's a lot of work, though, I have to tell you, because I get a sizable amount of comments. And as my channel grows, and I'm grateful that it grows, but it is extra work. And to this minute, I replied almost every comment. But I have to share this. There might be a day that I can't personally reply other than to let you know I read your comment and hearting the comment.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't necessarily always write a reaction.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I have to say, at this moment, I spend at least an hour a day responding to comments right now.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, if it ever gets to the point to where you cannot comment, you can always, tap the heart, so you acknowledge it.
They will always get a heart so that they know that I read their comment. And the comments are so wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that, as always, again.
The bird clock on your channel.
Right. That's fine. Again, as always, I'm glad you were, you had some free time able to come aboard. Again,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We're real people, and we have, real issues just like you do. And sometimes things are just like enough is enough. And this was a great show. I appreciate it.
It really was. And you have, no matter what, I know that, we can be Christians and good-hearted, but remember, everybody has to put their foot down and say, no, I can't. I'm sorry.
Right.
Because you got a choice. What are you going to do? Give your money to them
and
you're starving?
Especially hurt. Right. There you go.
Mm-mm. So anyway, guys, and all of you that have tuned in, I hope you like what you see. I hope that you will like and subscribe and share, what you see if you like the content. And at the same time, and I do this quite often, by all means, please go over to Jan's channel. Jan from New York City Saves Money.
Oh, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, everyone.
I think you'll enjoy the content that she has to put up. It's
I try.
Right. It focuses around financial. It also focuses around grocery store and budgeting and things like that. So
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I will go ahead and wish everybody a nice day, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
You're welcome.